written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you gotta see this guy. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. This is 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction.
As you can see right there, he suffers from a chronic condition that impairs movement of his arms.
On June 25, 2017, Alan Clifton wrote the following. Once upon a time, my debates with my conservative counterparts were mostly about ideological differences. Sure, there were some factual clashes during the debates from time to time, but there weren't many instances where indisputable facts were dismissed as opinion simply because they chose not to believe in them. Even when you quote someone like Donald Trump verbatim, that's not enough to prove something if the person with whom you're debating doesn't want to believe it. Fast forward to today, where most Republicans have been brainwashed by the right to such an extent that the only sources they trust for information on anything are the ones telling them, we're the only people you can trust. Everyone else is a liar. That's the telltale sign of con artists, liars, and conspiracy theorists, not honest, factually based people. For me, based on facts, this isn't a debate over a matter of opinion. Republicans are just wrong. Period. Here are 10 examples of what I mean. Number 1. Universal health care. Nearly every major country on the planet has universal health care, except the United States. Trump even praised Australia, a nation with universal health care, as having a better system than we do. In these countries, their citizens live, on average, longer than Americans, while they spend much less on health care than we do. Yet, to Republicans, they somehow think they are right to oppose universal health care, while the rest of the major countries on Earth are wrong. Number 2. Climate change. They can deny the science all they want, but it's indisputable. Have some of the projections been off at times? Of course. But simply being off some on the exact timing of certain events does not negate the reality that over 97% of the planet's scientists agree humans are driving the warming of our planet, and it's going to be catastrophic for our species if we don't do something to reverse these effects. Speaking of climate change, number 3, the Paris Climate Agreement. When originally signed, only 2 nations on the entire planet didn't sign the Paris Climate Agreement, Syria and Nicaragua. The reason Nicaragua said they weren't going to sign it was because it wasn't tough enough. Yet here we are again, with Trump pulling the United States out of this agreement, to which nearly every other country on Earth agreed. Once again, Republicans think that almost every other country, besides Syria really, is wrong, but they are right. Number 4. Guns. As we saw with the recent shooting in Virginia, an open carry state where the shooter was just a good guy with a gun before opening fire, that debunked just about all of the GOP's pro-gun propaganda. Also, as has been discussed plenty of times before, the United States leads every other major nation on Earth in per capita gun violence. Even here in the US, most of the states that lead the country in per capita gun violence are pro-gun Republican states. Sadly, none of these stats seem to matter, simply because most Republicans don't want to believe in them. Number 5. Planned Parenthood. While most Republicans seem to think Planned Parenthood is nothing but a government-funded abortion clinic, as with many other things they believe, the facts don't support their rhetoric. Not only is it illegal for any federal money that goes toward Planned Parenthood to be used for abortions, see the Hyde Amendment, 97% of what the organization does, out of the roughly 10.5 million services provided, has absolutely nothing to do with abortion. In fact, because they're a leading provider of contraceptives, Planned Parenthood is a leader when it comes to preventing unplanned pregnancies, the leading cause of abortion. But why let facts get in the way, right? Number 6. Tax cuts create economic growth. We're now nearly 40 years into the massive con known as trickle-down economics, and there's practically no evidence that links cutting taxes for the rich to healthy and sustained economic growth that pays for said cuts. None. Furthermore, during both Bill Clinton and Barack Obama's presidencies, both men raised taxes just prior to strong economic growth and job creation. Though here we are, nearly 4 decades later, and it's still the go-to economic plan being pushed by the GOP and supported by millions of conservatives, because it's what they want to believe, even though reality tells us that it's a total scam. Number 7. Green energy is a job killer. While it makes for good politics in rural areas of the country to push this idea that getting rid of coal or oil jobs while moving toward greener alternative means of energy would be a job killer, that's not what facts tell us. Not only is green energy not a job killer, but according to the U.S. Department of Energy, solar power employed 43% of the electric power generation sector's workforce in 2016, while fossil fuels combined accounted for just 22%. So not only is green energy not a job killer, the sector is creating jobs at a much higher rate than all of the other fossil fuel industries combined. Number 8. Voter fraud is rampant. That's an emphatic nope. For years, Republicans have tried to find evidence to support the fear-mongering myth that voter fraud is a massive problem that threatens our democracy. Yet despite their continued efforts to find the smoking gun, even Republican-led investigations have turned up practically nothing. Number 9. Illegal immigration is out of control. Once again, the stats don't lie. Not only is illegal immigration not out of control, but it's been practically zero since 2010. Furthermore, despite the right-wing propaganda, Barack Obama deported more illegal immigrants than any president in history. And no, illegal immigrants are not mostly criminals. They actually commit crimes at a lower rate than naturalized citizens. And finally, number 10, facts about Trump's presidency. Since there are several huge myths many of his supporters actually believe when it comes to his election and presidency, I thought I'd run down a few. When Trump won last November, he was the second Republican president in a row to win his first term in office despite losing the popular vote. Fun fact, a Republican hasn't been elected to their first term in office while also winning the popular vote since 1988. Hillary Clinton received 3 million more votes than he did. Republicans control majorities in both the House and Senate, so this nonsense that Democrats are being obstructionists is an absolute joke. Democrats have practically zero power in the House to block anything. So if the House of Representatives isn't passing Trump's legislation, then that's because he can't even get his own party to support it. The Department of Justice is being run by his people. So if there's a witch hunt going after him, it's being orchestrated by people he chose to run the State Department. Mexico will never pay for that border wall. He's never going to prosecute Hillary Clinton. The economic numbers he's now bragging about, numbers he had nothing to do with, the same numbers he called phony and a hoax during Obama's presidency, were very real then just as they are now. And yes, Trump did call his supporters mindless sheep, who will support him no matter what he does. Twice. Sorry, Republicans, you all might not like these facts, and some of you may even think they're all just a matter of opinion, but they're not. Whether or not you want to believe anything I just listed here is irrelevant. The bottom line is, on all of these issues, and many others, I promise, you are all just flat out wrong.